Let's start looking at the development phase, the B section of the what criteria of facilitation. And this is where the learner absorbs the information and tries using it. And really, they're trying to answer the question for themselves, what is this information and how do I do it? How do I use it? And so this follows a sequence of tell, show, and try. And I'm reminded of a quote that's attributed to the Chinese scholar Confucius back 2,500 plus years ago. And ostensibly Confucius said, "Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand." And so this really helps us set up the tell me, show me, let me try pattern. Along the way, it's helpful for you to give lots of examples. And when you are giving these examples, and you should prepare these in advance, you may want to begin with simple non-work examples, things that are analogies or metaphors that help people understand the concept. My favorite example of this is in one of our negotiation skills classes. We talk about illustrating the idea that different parties have different interests. And we tell the story of two young sisters who are fighting over an orange, and they both want the orange. And finally, their mother cuts the orange in half. But both girls are disappointed because one of the girls only wanted to eat of the orange. And the other girl was baking a cake, and she wanted the rind or the skin of the orange to add some flavor to the cake. So both girls could have gotten the whole orange if they understood what each other's interests were. So to me, this is a great example that's not specifically work related, but it illustrates a point pretty vividly. We also want you to bring in your own personal examples. And by this, these may be personal work-related examples. But when you bring your own examples in, they tend to have more emotional resonance because you're sharing something from your own life. So when you're delivering your own personal examples, they tend to carry a lot of weight with the learners. And of course, along the way, you're going to want to include examples that are relevant to the learners. So the more you know about their background, their experience, what clients they deal with, what customers they deal with, you can throw in examples that will be relevant to them. And the great thing you can do is ask participants for examples. So you've shared your examples, then say, who can give me an example of how you've done this in your life? And asking for participants' examples is powerful for two reasons. First, they're getting a chance to tell their stories, and so that's exciting for them. But two, and a little sneakily, this is you figuring out, do they really understand the concept? Because based on their example, you'll see, do they understand or do they not quite understand? So asking for participants' examples is really powerful. Now, I would suggest as a facilitator, as an associate trainer, as you're reviewing your facilitator's guide, take time to note what are the examples you're going to give and actually write those down. That way you don't have to think of them on the fly. They'll be ready for you right there and then.